Como 1907 have a stadium called the Giuseppe Signalia, which is located beautifully by the side of Lake Como. They have appointed Englishman Dennis Wise and former Chelsea legend as their CEO. They have an investment from Thierry Henry and Cesc Fabregas. So thanks for joining me as we look to take this magnificent club to the heights of Serie A and complete their dream as we start our new campaign. We are Como. So thanks for joining me then, you FM legends. Here we are, Como 1907. We've just taken over as the new manager, nicknamed the Lariani, and we're predicted to finish 16th in the table. But I think we'll be able to do a bit better than that, and we'll look to push this Como side to Serie A, which is their long-term dream, with CEO Dennis Wise, with that funding from Thierry Henry and Cesc Fabregas, who have also bought into this club. Really good little documentary on YouTube if you want to go on there and watch that. It gives you a bit of a background of the club and all of the work they've been doing to the stadium and just trying to like renovate everything, try and update it and bring a bit more attention to the club. Look like they're doing a really good job. The stadium does have a 13,000 capacity. I think in game I get about 3,000 to a game. But it looks like on the documentary it's really building up and they're getting a good little following. So check that out. Finances are looking pretty good as well. There's like 3.7 million in the bank. They've given me 2.1 million pounds to spend. A decent wage budget as well. Quite pleased with that. And the squad also looks pretty decent. I'm surprised they're predicted to finish 16th. Got quite a few players on loan, but I'm going to take a look at that and see who I want to keep and where we can upgrade in the team and maybe bring in some youngsters for the future. Might take us a couple of seasons at least to get out of Serie B, but we'll see how we get on. Got a lot to work with here. Got a good age, quite a few young lads, as well as getting some experience in there with the likes of Cesc Fabregas and Baselli here. They've also got a future transfer going in for Alberto Seri, if you remember him from previous football managers. Was a bit of a beast on previous ones. And they've also got Patrick Catrone. So we've completed pre-season now, and I'm going to stick with my tactic that I used during my Sheffield Wednesday rebuild. Really like this tactic. It's one I built myself. You can find that on my channel if you want to have a look. In pre-season then, we didn't start very well. Got absolutely thumped by Grasshoppers 5-0 in our first game. But then bounced back with a positive 6-2 victory against Modena, a 6-0 win against Cosena. We drew 1-1 with Union. I spent some time upgrading my staff, bringing in all my own people. Really pleased how that's gone. We've got quite a good setup now, considering we're only a little club. Fortunately, our first competitive game was in the first round of the Coppa Italia, and we suffered a 2-0 defeat to Salernitana, and that saw us knocked straight out of the cup competition, but we could focus on the league. Our league form was fantastic. We started the season superbly well, only losing one game in our first 10 and winning 9 of the rest. The loss came to a 1-0 defeat against Pisa, who were second. We scored 29 goals and conceded only 7. Our transfers were decent as well, really pleased with them. There's a lot of players that have come into this club this year, a lot on loan, but that had all been done before I'd come. But my signings were Ayo Paydin, as you know, one of my favourite signings on Football Manager. And I did sign him at Sheffield Wednesday, but I had him on loan for multiple seasons before I bought him in the Premier League, and he cost me about £10 million or 13, something like that. And when I scouted him, I realised that after a couple of weeks, Bayern weren't interested in keeping him, and his contract's running out right at the beginning. So I managed to pick him up for 190k, which is absolutely unbelievable because I know how good he turns out. And then just wanted to make a couple more youngsters who we could maybe work with, and if anything, we just make some profit on them. And we've got this lad, Shivan Spendy. Looks decent, 19 years old, perfectionist mentality. Going to bring him in as a shadow striker, work with him, and I think he'll be one for the future. I also spent 275,000 on Theo Zidane. If he can be anything like his father, even half of the player he was, then I'll be absolutely over the moon. On the outgoings, there were all players who were going to be out of contract and ones that I wouldn't necessarily keep. But one thing you'll notice here is that we're hemorrhaging money massively despite having all this money in the club at the beginning of the season, and I haven't really spent that much money, I've still got £1.5 million left in my transfer budget, and we're well within our wage budget as well, but the club is losing money quite significantly and quick. We're only 10 games into the season, and we've gone from being 3.7 million in profit to 1.4 in debt. And Mancuso, who we have on loan, he's been absolutely fantastic up front for us. He's our main striker, and he just does better than Seri and Catrone. He started the season so well, so it's going to be hard to kick him out. 10 goals so far this season in 10 games. And Spendy is also right up there in the average ratings, as he has been our main shadow striker who's been in form for us. Alfred Gomez, our goalkeeper, who's also on loan, has been absolutely fantastic, and he's kept 5 clean sheets out of 10. We bounce forward now to January, and look at those finances. £5 million, just completely just hemorrhaging money again. Not sure what's going on. But look at my wage budget as well. I've had no notification about anything going on at the club. But now my wage budget's only 197,000. We're in the red in our wages, and obviously I've not made any changes, and my transfer budget has gone from being 1.5 million to just 230,000. But that hasn't stopped us on the field, because after 20 games we're still top of the league. We've only lost 4 games at this stage, and they've all been 1-0 losses. We've drawn 3 and won 13. So we've been absolutely brilliant. Mancuso's still playing really well, but I believe he's had a spell out injured, and Spendy has also been brilliant. So as you can see here with the fixtures, we started really well, only getting those 1-0 losses in between. Then we got the 2 here on the bounce, and I was a bit worried that we were going to see a bit of turning form, but we did bounce back with a 2-0 win here and a 3-1 win against Moderna, and then 3 draws on the bounce as well. The 3-all, the 1-1, then the 3-all again with Bari. But we've won our next game against Caligari. Cesc Fabregas has got the winner for us there in the 75th minute. Here it is, 27th of April, and we are still looking like we're in the running to lift this trophy. The promotion talks are coming. With 4 games left, we're right up there. We've definitely deserved to be top of the league, but it has got tight. Frosinone have really pushed us. At one point we were level on points, but at that point I beat them 2-0, and then they hit a bit of bad form and we've just pushed away, as we've got 3-1 win against Moderna there, and another 3-1 win against Cosenza. The Cosenza one as well felt really good because there were 2 late winners, with Alex Blanco scoring in the 86th minute and Lucas de Cunha in the 90+3 minutes. In our very next game we won 6-1 away at Venezia. Mancuso scoring 4 of the 6. Let's have a quick look at the goals. And that was the news we needed. This is us completing the long-term project for Como. We've done it in our first season. We have reached Serie A, but with just 3 games to go. We could just get the next 3 points against Bari, and that would be enough to win the league for us. But unfortunately, the finances are still not looking good. As going into next season, we've currently got no transfer budget, and our wage budget is 230,000, and we're currently sitting over that, I think. It's exactly what we're on already. And look at the finances. £10 million near enough in debt. I'm not sure what's going on, but it is not looking good. So here's the team then. As we look to lift this title, we've already sealed promotion. Absolutely punching above our weight with this Como side, playing lovely football, and we were just one more win away with 3 games to go to seal the title and get ourselves into Serie A. So I'll start with what I believe to be our strongest team so far this season, and we'll go with Gomez in goal, Vignali, Canestrelli, Binks and in out at the back, Aiden holding in midfield with Faragao, Dacuna on the wings, Spendy and Alex Blanco behind Mancuso, our top goal scorer. Approaching 15 minutes now, we've had a couple booked. Not much is happening so far in terms of highlights. But here's the first one. Here's that Aiden to cross it in, and Canestelli just heads that wide of the post. Aiden, I think, has just gone and got himself sent off. Not what we needed. We're going to bring off Alex Blanco and we'll drop Baselli in. Baselli with the corner now. He whips it in. And we're up. We've taken the lead. Canestrelli, absolutely fantastic. Leaps above all the defenders and heads us 10-man Como into the lead against Bari. We've been fantastic this year. Just absolutely played beautiful football. And we've been through periods of having so many suspended as well and injured and really struggling because, Spendy, what a finish. Lovely football again, but yeah, just really struggling because if we don't have like our strongest team, we have like 3 or 4 missing, we do struggle. We've been through patches this year of having, we got like a virus going around the club and we had quite a few out and some suspended at the same time because we'd picked up too many yellow cards. But yeah, we've just been absolutely fantastic. I've loved this side, playing with players that would normally sign. I've never done a save in Serie B before. So this has been nice just to play something different, use some new players. I have signed Aiden, who's probably my favourite player in Football Manager 2023. Just because he's young, if he doesn't, he'll stay at Bayern for years and just never get a chance. But if you use him, he just becomes absolutely fantastic. Like, they've pulled one back. Become one of the best midfielders in the world, and on my Sheffield Wednesday save, picked him up for like £10 million after having him on loan for a few years from Bayern, and did well for me every single year, but we just never had the funds to sign him, and by the time I did, his valuation had gone up to like 10 million. But on this, I checked him out and we could pick him up for 190k after a few weeks into the save, so we've done that, and hopefully we can build a team around him. Still dominating possession really well, and let's hope we can continue this and lift the trophy. But I'm sure Barry are going to come at us with us being down to 10 men. Dacuna does really well there. Mancuso, Baselli keeps the ball well, turns to Binks, plays it round, lovely, keeping possession really well, and pings one down the line, and now he's in. I'm not sure what he's doing there, just hoofing it against the player constantly. Mancuso, Dacuna, go on, hit that on his weaker right foot and sails that well and truly over the bar. Canestrelli, Baselli, great 1-2 with now, and he can't keep his shot down, and that goes over the bar as well. But good football again from Como. 65 minutes in, still looking very comfortable, not going to make any subs. We look very fit, no one's tiring out too much yet. And hopefully we can see this game out, pick up the 3 points and lift ourselves the title. 5 minutes to go. Still running down. Faragao looks knackered, but it's enough. And that is enough for us to pick up the title. Serie B has been well and truly sealed by Como. Predicted at the beginning of the season to finish about 11th, I think it was. And yeah, this team have just well and truly punched above the weight all season. Playing against some big clubs. We got, Parma, Caligari. There's some big clubs in this Genoa, in this division. And look at that. absolutely brilliant season. It isn't looking good in terms of finances though, so I'm not sure what we'll be able to do in terms of summer signings to get it over and keep us in Serie A, but this is massive for this club. I've finished the season. Last 2 games, Tanana, we did lose 1-0 against them, but we finished with a Mancuso hat-trick at home. Brilliant victory. Signed it off for the fans. And there we have it. Champions of Serie B. 78 points. Lost 8 games. Drawn 6. And won 24. Mancuso finished in top goal scorer with 25 goals. Spendi and Mancuso sharing the average ratings as 7.36. Alex Blanco getting 12 assists for the season. 6 man of the match awards was the most for anyone. But as you can see, on the yellow cards, Aiden, Binks and Vignali, we just love kicking the shit out of people. But we've won the league. Some important and exciting news. I got this weird notification saying someone had retired. I didn't have a clue who it was. Looked and it was my chairman. So maybe this was the reason why we were losing so much money. He just stopped putting money into the club. But there was no indication during the season that this was actually going on. And then this happened. We're about to get taken over. And a possible takeover is happening. It didn't help because we're now in July. I'm looking to try and bring players into the club, seeing who I can get. And we got put under a transfer embargo. So I couldn't actually do it. But it didn't take them long to get it done. So things may never be the same again at the Giuseppe Signalia. After Swift investor Marcus Amrine successfully bought the club, we had something to look forward to because we now had a £5 million transfer budget going into the new season. And he's pumped £50 million into the club as well, so that's looking really good. And we've also got quite a lot of wage budget to work with there. I'll see what magic I can do. So thanks for watching, you FM legends. This is Serie A, and we are Como.